Hello and good evening. It's Friday again. I say that every week, don't I? Friday. Friday the 9th of June at 6:30, and it's time for Trisha time. So we are on the So Totally Trisha page so that anybody is able to view, and hopefully the comments will come up easily and right from the very beginning. So I can see there are people. Oh, there we are. Hello, Catherine. Good evening. Hope you're well. I have is on there. Perhaps it's something on. Oops, that side. There's something holding there. Or perhaps it's not. Perhaps it's on my iPad. Hang on. Oh yes, it's something else there. Good evening, Christine. Lovely, Beverly. Oh, let's have a look. And hello, Chris and Lindsay and Gita and Beverly. Whoops, I got carried away there. Christine, Jill, Sarah, Janet, made it in time. Carol and Janet, lovely. And Shirley. And Gita. Oh, I said Gita, haven't I? So, you're very well. Jolly good. Hello, Sandra. And hello, Christine. So you can see what the twist is. You love it, Jill, do you? Hello, Dorothy. Yeah, I thought I would, I'll pop it behind me just so that you can see right from the very start. Am I really, Vanessa? Thank you so much. Hello, Sue. You love the beach huts. Yes, yeah. Well, as I'd said yesterday, we did the two Dresden plates which are behind me, and on a similar theme I said I would do something else, and this is what I've come up with. I've had it in my mind for quite some time. Oh, I think you're liking it. That is lovely. Oh, thank you, Catherine. I've actually got it in front of me. Hi, Judith. And hello, Jill. As I probably told you, hello, Lorraine. My brother is moving out of the farm this year. Hello, Mary. Oh, you catch up later, yeah. Oh, Carol loves it. So he's having a massive clear out, and he came across this. I will show you. Hello, Pamela. You've made it today. So this is what appeared. My mum brought it to me yesterday. And oh my goodness, I thought, hello, Jack. I just thought, I recognise it. I know I've seen it. And I was sort of working, it was in my grandma's house, so my dad's mum. It hung in her house all those years. And I think it's got to be 40 years since I've seen it. Never knew where it went. Hello, Bev. Hello, Janet. And this is me. This is me. Oh, you're looking at the Dresden houses. So it hangs on a chain, and it's on like plywood. And it's got a name at the top, Wildman. But this is like glass. I don't know whether... Oh, the photo must be under glass. But I just thought when yeah, I can't believe it's me. And no, I've never in my life thought that was beautiful. But here, I just think that is lovely. And the funny thing is, oh yeah, the funny thing is, they do look like my children as babies. And they do look like Charlie and Oliver and some of the other nieces and nephews. So it must be a strong gene that comes through. I was just looking at the colour eyes. Oh yes, they're blue. Blue eyes, but then I hear that all babies have blue eyes. But when my brother found it, I mean, these metal bits up here have rusted, but I just love it. So this is 65 years old. 65 and a bit. Oh, Vanessa. Oh, Vanessa. Yeah, so I'm so pleased with it. I don't know where to hang it, but I shall keep it. I've got it on the mantelpiece, and Martin wasn't too pleased. He said, why on earth have you put that there? But I love it. I absolutely love it. To think that once in my life I was beautiful. And as my daughter said, as Victoria pointed out, she said, oh, the monobrow. Oh, hello, Sue. And hello, Caroline. Oh, you lost your glasses. Oh, dear, I do that sometimes. When I go to dry my hair, and I put the glasses down amongst brushes, and I've got a little box with all sorts of bits in, and I think, where have they gone? Where have they gone? Oh, thank you. You are so kind. You are so kind. All right. I would take the compliments. Thank you very much. But I think I was better as a baby than probably now. In fact, most definitely. So, as I was saying, the Dresden Liberty one, I actually got finished. And because, oh, hello, Pat. Because I didn't want to break the thread while I was doing the quilting. Excuse me, I just had a glass of water. I thought, I may as well carry on. I may as well just sit down and finish it. So I did that, and I started off, and then I thought, why don't I video this so that people can see, hopefully you can see quite well, where I stitched. And then I thought, somebody had asked the question, which I did describe yesterday, but I thought how to trim around the edges, just to leave that little white edge, which actually frames those points on the Dresden. Oh yes, enjoy your meal, Mary. I didn't read where you were going. No, you can't miss this. Oh. Yes, so that's what we did yesterday, and as you know, there's kits on the website, and thank you everybody that's bought one. I know what I haven't brought in with me. Ah, lovely. Yeah, this was definitely UK though. You like watching the extras. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you did. I said yesterday, it must be really boring watching me just stitching around the same thing time and time again, but I thought it was only quite a short video so that you really got the gist of it and it will be in your head. Hello, Janet. Oh, and Jack likes it. Oh, that's good. That's good. So, yeah, I was busy on this. This didn't start coming together, this housey one, and it isn't finished, as you can see. I haven't, well, it is quilted because it's free motion quilted, and the back, I hope it doesn't, if I show you the back is almost as good as the front. I showed Martin and he said, oh, I prefer the front, but I think the back is quite nice too. Good evening, Fiona. So there is the back of it. So I was on a bit of a mission, as I had another customer come after lunchtime, and it was like, Trisha, you've just got to get cracking on this. And then the centre is the same technique as we did the centre of these ones, and but I've used as the back. Oh, hello, Anne. Oh, I'm always here. Yeah, it is like a ghost town, isn't it? Yeah, would make a beautiful cushion. So I have actually, I was deliberating as I was getting all the pieces together. I was deliberating, how am I going to finish this off? Because there is there stitching? There is a little bit of stitching as far as this is concerned, the centre. But the main stitching after that is the free motion quilting. Hello, Marion. And in between here, these wedges, these blades aren't actually stitched together. So yeah, it does look like townhouses, doesn't it? Hello, Kathleen. Oh, if you have on your Facebook or on my Facebook page, if you have on the So Totally Trisha page, oh right, yeah, and set go click. I think there's some 3 little dots. I have got spotty fabrics. I have, and I've had them for a little while and never done anything with them. So all those fabrics you can see there are spotty, or the majority are. And shall I zoom it in a little bit so that you can see? There we go. So there is, where are we? Over here. This one is a blue with jade spots, and there is, oh, you can't quite see there, there's the jade with blue spots, and then we've got purple with cerise spots, and so we have got cerise with purple spots, green, lime green with lemon spots. Now there isn't a lemon with lime green, there's lemon with red spots, yellow with red spots. But yeah, they're all sort of the opposite way around. Hello, Sheena. Oh, lovely. Oh, do you know, I nearly thought that I was going to go there. I went there last year to Spalding. It's a lovely venue, absolutely lovely. And I thought I must go, but I'm in the process of getting everything sorted for the extra studio stroke shed, stroke storage. Yeah, that's right, you could, Catherine. So, yeah, hello, Jenny. The houses, yes. I think it was you, Jenny, that said something. Hello, Eileen. Yeah, I haven't got any kits. I haven't got any kits sorted yet. I thought, I can't do too many kits. But I may very well if people would like one. So I haven't actually written any instructions yet either. So if you want to take little notes, but it is fairly, if you watched last night's one, you'll know how things go together. Saying that, what I did say, hello Jackie, I did say there is not as much stitching, and it's more a case of laying things down and a little bit of Bondaweb or fabric glue. Have I brought my, yes, I brought my pen back. How good is that? You'd love a kit, would you? Okay. Okay, call it done. It won't be till the beginning of next week, though, when I get the kits ready and on the website. So I need the weekend. I've got so much to do. And sometimes I need a little break. But you never know, I might get it done. I just might. Oh, Jack would like a kit. Oh, dear, you ladies, you ladies. But yes, can do. So I went for bright colours. I didn't know what I really wanted, but I went into my stash or my storage and I looked and I thought, yes, that's what we'll go for. That's what we'll go for. No, Sheena, I haven't used freezer paper on this. I suppose you could have done. When I was thinking about it, I don't know. I mean, I've seen similar things, house projects, but I don't know how they put theirs together. Oh, you'd like a kit as well, Gita? Okay. But I've done it, I think, in a different way to perhaps what other people would do. Because I was thinking to myself, I like to do things straightforward and fairly simple to do. And if we were stitching them together and we've got all these different lengths of houses, when we stitch them together here, we'd have a raw edge here, unless we folded them under. And I thought, it's a little bit of a faff, isn't it? At least when we made these, every bit of raw edge got hidden. Hello, Leslie. Yes, it is different, isn't it? So I thought, no, let's do it another way. Yes, thank you, Janet. I hope you have too. It has been very warm. Nice and cool in the house, though, which I'm really, really pleased about. So shall I will start showing you exactly how I started. Now, because it's fairly large, what would I say it is? It's probably a 24-inch square. And what is nice, so the way the kit, if any of you have bought, I don't know, lots of you did, my circle rulers, this circle ruler is ideal for the centre circle. It fitted perfectly. Evening, Fiona. Oh, I bet Fiona's saying evening to Janet, because I've said hello before, haven't I? Yeah, so this is the perfect size to fit over the centre, which we made yesterday by putting two bits of fabric together and slitting one side and turning it through the gap, didn't we? And I've done it in exactly the same way as that. But this is a perfect size. And as for size, what would it be? Oh, it's a 7-inch diameter. But how nice when you've got something, you've got that ruler, Gita, there you go. So perfect size for your centre circle. So yes, as it is so large, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a quarter of it. So you will have to use your imagination and think of me doing the whole of it. So, and it is quite straightforward. You will easily be able to work it out. But I'll go through the process of how it all works. And it is quite... That's all right. That's Fiona. Right, so what we will need... Oh dear, that's it. What we will need. Let's go down here. I've got my wedges already cut. So I've got 5 wedges there. And then I've got a bit of background fabric. So my background fabric is the Osnaburg, which I know a lot of you bought that a few weeks ago. I think I've got some on the website, but it's really a nice, it's calico coloured, but it's a little bit of a looser weave, and it's very, very nice. It'd be great for hand stitching on too. But I thought I'd use that as the base. So I've got 2 pieces, one for the backing fabric and one for the base fabric for my houses, and then some wadding, and I've just used Thermolam for that, similar size. So I've only just done that fairly, just a rough size. But these are my blades, and all we would do, so using the Dresden ruler, which I showed you yesterday, which is not in here. Oh no, I didn't have one in here, did I? Or did I? Oh, I did. Oh, I did. Look at that. So if you haven't got a Dresden ruler, this is what I use to cut my blades. And if I just show you one, it just sits on there. So as we did yesterday, we have a strip of fabric, however long we want these blades to be, and then we pop our ruler on. So let me just have a, if I pretend this was a strip of fabric, an uncut strip of fabric, let's just lay them like that. So that piece is, and see, that would look nice as it is like that. So what we would do is we would lay our ruler, line up this short edge with our fabric, and then we would slice up here. And then to cut the next piece, we would turn it around, line up the short end with the top of the fabric, and then line it up with this edge that we've just cut and trim down here. Then we would turn it around again, and the short end lines up with the bottom, and we trim, and we just keep cutting by turning our ruler. So we don't move the fabric, we just keep turning the ruler. So these are on the website. There's only a few because I know lots of you have got them, and I like you to use them. So once we have our blades cut, and you just cut them the length depending on how big you want your housey Dresden to be. And then I used, what did I use? 10 colours, so there's 2 of each fabric. And then what did I do? Let's put this one here. No, we'll put a stripy one. So then all I did is line them up. So I put the, now what I forgot to say, what I've got here is interfacing. It's the H250, also on the website. So it's a fusible side this side. Can you see it glistens? And it's a matte side, it's a rough side this side. Well, it's smooth, but it's not glossy. And if you feel the glossy side, or you can see it, it's got a shimmer to it. So you have the glossy side facing up, and then you put your fabric wrong side down onto it. So the right side is facing up. And all you do is line your pieces up. No, we'll put the purple one next, I think. Line them up, and what they create is a circle. So you're just butting the edges up to each other. See if I put it on in well enough to, I think, just, okay, just, there we go. So I've got those all lined up, all butt up next to each other. And as I say, I've only got a quarter of them, but if you keep laying them, so your interfacing will be as big as the circle, so probably about 24 inches square, a little bit bigger than. And then you will line all the rest of your fabrics in whatever order you like, so that, now where has my mat gone? Oh, my mat is there. So that they all fit together without any gaps in between. So at this point, let me just take my, so at this point, now the reason for having that fusible side facing up is because, I should have put it on the mat beforehand, shouldn't I? Okay, let me just move this around a little bit so I've got a little bit more space there. So let's just shift that across. Okay, like so. Like that. And as you see, very easy. So what I would actually do is do this on an ironing board so that you don't have to move. So you don't have to move it once it's in place, because what you want to do then is be able to, we want it to stick to, we want it to be fused to this. Now this is fairly light, well, it's medium weight, so it's not stiff, but it just gives a nice bit of body to your fabrics as well, and it gives a base for everything to go onto. So once you've got your iron warm, now you don't use steam with this, just make sure it's the right way, yeah. Don't use steam with when we fuse this, we just use a hot, dry iron. Probably, I don't know, about 8 seconds, 8 to 10 seconds if that. But I'm not going to fuse it completely. I'm just going to fuse just this, perhaps halfway up, if that. So I'm going to take a little prim iron because it's a smaller area. So I'm just going to place that on very carefully. And we will just iron, just move that around. I can feel that is, there we are. I can feel that is fusing now. So, yeah, so that's there. But it's not fused here. The reason for that is because we want these to stay in position. We don't want them to move down here. But around here, what we're going to do is we're going to trim it to different lengths. So you see how that is? So just randomly, I'm going to chop a bit off there. So we'll have that length. I'm going to have this one shorter. And even if, there we are. So trim, that's going to be a shorter one. Have this one a little bit longer, I think. Let's just move it around here. So I might trim that to there. And I just went around doing whatever I fancied, basically. So that one stuck a little bit further than I wanted it to. So I'm just going to pull it back a little bit so that I can trim that to a smaller. So trim that one off. And then this one we'll leave, oh, perhaps halfway. There we are. Well, no, not halfway. Right. So I'll keep all these little bits of fabric. Keep these because you can use them for doors if you want to. I've also used a dark grey, a spray time, for doors, roofs and windows. But you could use all of these and put a different, like the turquoisey roof on, using these fabrics if you wanted to. But the choice is absolutely yours. So once we've got that cut, all of them cut to the lengths you want, what I'm going to do, I'm only just going to dab a little bit, just to put a little bit more, because I don't want to get this on the iron. So just dab that a little bit, and so it's fused it a little bit more. Then leave this bit, because in the middle here we will have a circle when we've got all of them. But what we're going to do now is we're going to trim this to, so I find it easier to just trim along where the tops of the houses without a roof at the minute. So we'll trim that off, and then I'm just going to trim into here, so into there, and we're basically cutting right around the edges. So there we are. So that's around the edge there. I'm going to nip this bit off because I don't want to iron it, but obviously when you're doing the full circle, it will go the whole way around, but I don't want to iron that and get that stuck. So now I'm just going to trim that across there. I've taken a little bit more of the fabric off, but it really doesn't matter because we're going to add roofs as well. Okay, right, so there we have, this is going to be the edges of our house Dresden. So now I can press completely so that they're all fused to the interfacing. I should have trimmed that edge off as well, shouldn't I? But there we go. So I'm just pressing over there. Oh, there's a bit of fusible showing. But that's now got them all secured to the interfacing. So let's just trim that little bit away. I should make this into something. So like a corner one, as we were saying. So let's just trim that away. I'll trim that little bit off there as well. Okay, so that is the rough shape of a quarter of it. So we've got it like so. Now we are going to take our piece of fabric. So I've got my fabric here. Let's just take that back just a little bit. I can just see I want to iron this. I think that must have been the centre on the bolt. So let's just take those marks out there. Oh, that's off. No, there we are. So, oh, I did turn it off. That is why. Okay. So we've got that nice, nicely pressed now. So I've got my piece of fabric, and then we're going to pop our, let's pop it on just there. So we're just going to lay that, so we would, with the whole circle, it would be central on our backing fabric here. So the next thing I'm going to do, if you've got, you can pin, but if you've got a fabric glue pen, just put a little bit of glue under there, and there, and there, and there, and there, just so that that holds that in place. Okay, so next little bit that we want to do is the roofs. So I haven't really got much fabric left here, have I? So what I have done is I've actually used some steamer seam, and steamer seam allows you to, actually let me just get, I have got some here, and I'll get a bit more of the dark grey fabric. So this is steamer seam. It's like Bondaweb, but the great thing with steamer seam is that it allows you, let's just cut some of this off here, there we are, it allows you to, once it's bonded together, it allows you to reposition the fabric. So let me just get my fabric. So what have I done with that? Oh no, I'll put it here, that's right. So we have a little bit of fabric like here. So this is the fabric I've used, a spray time. Okay, and I'm just going to trim a little bit here so that I can show you exactly how it works. So I just cut that off, and this will be for the roofs, and pop that out of the way. So there is my, got a bit more fabric than I need there, so I'll shift that down a bit. So what I do, I'm going to peel. Now let me just see. It's a little bit more than I need. So I'm just going to cut that little bit away here. I don't need that. So steamer seam will bond. So it has got a liner sheet here and a liner sheet there. And it's got a grid here. You can see through it if you want to, say you've got a shape, a flower shape as a drawing, pop this over the top, you can see through, to draw, and I would draw on the gridded side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel back the other side, which will be tacky. So if I can just, and unlike Bondaweb, where it's not good to peel it apart like this, this one is perfect. Can you see that tackiness there? I'm going to take that off, and then I'm just going to place that down on the reverse of my fabric, like that, and then that's stuck to the back. So I'm just going to trim that piece of fabric away, because we don't need that for the moment. And what I did, so there is that. So now that that is stuck to, there's another lining here. So this piece with the grid on, we will peel that off afterwards. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to use I'm going to cut some triangles. So you can just cut whatever size you like, but all you need to do is make sure, so let's go like that. Okay, so I've got myself a triangle cut there, and all we need to make sure is that that triangle is going to be big enough to, so that edge is going to be longer than this edge, so that will go on there. So with my other, so I'm just going to cut randomly, so that one we will cut there. What the other thing I would do is cut down here like that, and then you can cut another triangle. So there I have a triangle. Let's see, that's a little bit, so we will cut one like there, a little bit smaller triangle. But these are all going to be roofs of varying sizes. So I only 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll cut another one just here. So I think that will be quite long as well. So I haven't bothered with particular size, but I've just got myself some triangles there, which are going to sit on the houses. So with this, I'm now going to just peel this back. I did use my seam ripper, which was quite good, so that you can get, so these are, the houses are down with a little bit of fabric glue, and then I like to just burnish, so just push that down with my nail, and then put that in between, or a pin, peel it off. Now, if you're using Bondaweb, Wonderweb, anything else, that would not be tacky, but that's tacky, so that I can pop that down like that, and that is going nowhere. But if I wanted to put it, if it wasn't in the right position, I can lift it off and we can pop it on this one, like so. So now I've got it there. This is on the website. It is £4 for a ½ metre. So, and it's about 12 inches wide. But I absolutely love using this. I suppose if I was doing a huge job where I was ironing all my fabric, but I didn't want to use loads. I didn't want to have a lot left over. So it's much easier to use a smaller quantity, as you see, of the steamer seam. And the thing with it, I might put that big one down there, I might put the, oh no, I'm going to have a little one down here. It just means that unless, which is why I said to begin with, start doing this near the ironing board so that you don't have to lift it up. But using steamer seam does save you, because if you did lift this, it's not going to move. So I'm going to have those little roofs going that way, and then here I'm just burnishing it with my nail, just rubbing that down. I could also have used my little what do we call it, the corner shaper, the one I was showing you yesterday. So there we have another one, and we'll put that there. You could put it on wonky if you wanted. I might do that. So put that on a little bit wonky. And then this last one is a little one as well. So we can just lift the fabric away, and it just makes it stick down so that you can lift it and just peel it off. So that one can go just there. So now all my pieces are all stuck down, you see? They're not falling off. And if I want to change where it's going to be, that's fine, because I can just peel it off and put it on another space. Then the other thing, I've cut, this is another little bit I had. So depending on whether you want your windows to be the same colour, so the same dark grey, what I did with this, or doors, I just, so again, burnish that like we did before, peel that edge, and I just peel that all off, okay? And then, this is going to be a door, so I'm putting it slightly above the bottom here, because we are going to cover that with a little circle. So, and I'm just going to press that down, however long I want my door to be, and there I have a door. And I might have one in alternate ones, because, so we'll lift that up just a little bit, and you can see it sticking to my finger. There's one. And then we'll have one here as well. And I'm just pressing that down. And so there are my doors. Now I'm going to have some windows as well. So I'm going to have, I might have, oh no, we'll have a window there. We can have two on this other one. So I'm just cutting it apart. We'll have 1 and 2. Oh, that's not a very good shape, is it? Let's just see. So that's oh, we could have a little window there, couldn't we? Okay. And then what I'll do as well, so with my bits of fabric that I chopped off, what could we do? I might, let's see, now let's have a spotty, let's have a purple. We could have a cerise spotty, couldn't we? So I'm going to have a door with a spotty. So I'm going to cut myself similar shape. Don't know how long this one's going to be. I'm going to have a spotty door on this one. So we'll perhaps have it that sort of length. Just trim that off. That could also be a window. But with this one, I'm just going to use my fabric glue stick and just to hold that down, rather than putting the steamer seam on there. And then on this one, what should we have on here? Might have the red spot. So I'll put a bit of glue to start off with, and then let's just find our red spotty here. Just trim that down. Use a rotary cutter if you like, but I'm just, this is just free art if you like. So we can pop that on there. So all my doors are slightly above this bottom edge because we're going to have a circle going onto there. Should we have a window up there? Let's see if I've got, oh, I have got a little bit more here. So we can have, oh, easier, rather than cutting it with the steamer seam paper on the back, it is easier to actually peel it back. Perhaps don't peel it all the way back, but peel it a little way. Otherwise, because I did this and I thought, oh, what a pain. If you peel it all, let's have one there. If you cut them into little pieces, and then each one you need to take the little bit of paper off the back. So I have 1, 2. Actually, should we have 3? No, we'll just have the 2 windows on there. There we are. Then we can leave that stuck to there, ready for the next use. Okay, so I think, so they are all stuck in place, ready for the next part. And yours, of course, will have all of it a full circle. So let me move these bits out of the way. Drop the fabric pen on the floor. Okay, let's pop that in there. So the next thing we would do is make our circle. Now I haven't got, or have I? No, I haven't got a piece there, but the circle, let's just pop that back in there. The circle, what we would have is 2 pieces of fabric, and let me have a look. Or what I did, I'm just going to do, but I won't be able to stitch it because I've got the free motion there. So I've got some of my H250, the interfacing, and the easiest thing to do, I'm just going to cut myself a circle. So let's just cut this like so. So what you would do, if you have if you're making the big one, you can use your circle ruler because that is the perfect size. But just to show you how we would do it, we would cut ourselves a circle in that size, in the fabric that you want the centre to be, and also in your interfacing. So I'm just cutting a rough one here. Okay, so there we have 2 circles. So what I've got, I'm putting them right sides together, so right side of fabric onto the fusible side. Then we will stitch the whole way around the edge. Once we've done that, we make a hole, which that would be trimmed, but you'd pull it apart and then you would clip into your interfacing. Okay, so that's all stitched together. You've got a hole in the interfacing there. We would turn it through to the right side, and then it means that because the fusible was right sides together, it's going to be that way. So then you are going, this is fusible, and you can poke all the edges out and you can pop that down onto this area and iron it on top. Now that part is fusible anyway, but you can iron it on the top so your circle, which will fit over here, so it will fit over, just over these raw edges, and hide those all, so that is completely completely neat. So let's just assume that that is covered, and then the next thing, and we've also got nice neat edges to our circle over here. So the next thing we will do from there is we will get ourselves a piece of wadding. So here is our wadding, and we will pop our, let's pop that on there. So I've popped that on the wadding. Is the wadding big enough? Let's take it down there. It is just about. So what we do with wadding, I like to use my 505, so I've smoothed that all out, and we'll just spray the wadding like so, and then very carefully, but just smooth that back down. Then I'm going to lift the other edge, and I am, I'm nearly running out. There we go. So we just smooth that down, so that's all nice and neat. Just get that little bit of, that's coming to the end, nearly all used. So I'm just de-gumming around the nozzle so the next little bit comes out. So I've got that attached then to my wadding. Flip it over, and now we will put a second piece of fabric on the back here, so so the wadding is all covered. Smooth that out, and this is what I do with every quilt that I make. And then we will just make sure that doesn't go onto my pressing mat, because we don't want that sticky. Smooth that out, and then pull the other side up. Let's pull that up to where it was sticking. There we go. And that is all sprayed there. So just smooth that out from the centre to the edges, And now that it's all stuck together, ready for a little bit of quilting. So let us move these pieces out of the way. Oh, why does everything fall? Right, so we'll move those out of the way. We have our, just do a tiny bit of free motion. Oh, we're doing well for time. So I've got my free motion foot on here. Let's have a look, see if you can see that. Can you see this little circular bit here? That's down. If I lift that up, you can see what that looks like. Whoops. Okay, so we have the free motion foot. This one's a horseshoe shape, so there's a gap at the front. Sometimes they can be full circle, but I've got that on, and I've also dropped my feed dogs. Can you see these bits here? I'll turn them up again. Oh no, that doesn't quite right. I'll have to wait till I machine normally for them to spring back up. But the feed dogs are dropped, so that's totally smooth over there. And otherwise, everything is threaded just as we usually do. So I'll pull that thread to the side, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that under where the, oh, that's quite good, isn't it? Just take that back just a little bit. Okay, so I need to put the presser foot down, and what I'm going to do is I am going to, no, what I might do for, I will free motion around all these little bits, and we'll do the bigger areas later. So relax is the first thing I'd say do. Now, I must admit, I prefer to stitch towards me. So I hadn't done any free motion for a little while, and I must admit, I did have to sort of get used to it to get something anywhere decent. But it is free motion. It is rustic, if you like. So what we'll do, all I'm going to do is, I haven't altered any settings at all. It doesn't matter what stitch length you've got on there. Don't alter your tension, alter nothing apart from dropping the feed dogs and putting your foot, your free motion foot on. Because the length of your stitch is going to be dictated by how quickly that you push the fabric underneath here and the speed that your machine is set to. So I did listen to a YouTube thing, and it said put it on the faster, but I'd have it mid-speed. But you want a constant speed. So if you've got a sewing machine that you can stitch without the foot pedal, so you just press a button on the sewing machine, that is really good because you can think. You don't have to think only about moving your fabric. So let's see if we can go. So I'm just having the, oh, I wasn't going to do this bit, was I? Okay, so we'll go up here. So I'm just pushing along, and when you get near there, I stop because I'm going to go sideways now. So I'm holding the fabric, and I'm just pushing it like that's it. So just keep it going nice and regularly, at a constant speed, and then we'll go down here, and I'm going to stop when I get to that that rooftop, and I'm going to cut the thread. Whoops, let's cut that again. I'm just lifting there, and I'm going to go over the top, and oh, okay, we're going to unthread. Just what I wanted, wasn't it? Me and unthreading this machine. Right, okay, so behind there and in there, I'll just have to trim this so that I can lick the thread to make it, because I still haven't taught myself how to use the automatic threader, but I do seem to be able. I usually thread it and then pull it straight back out again, which is a pain. Oh, what are you doing, Trisha? Right. Yeah, there you go. See, I pulled it back out. Just what I wanted to do. Okay, so we'll go back in. No. moisten my thread just to make that. Has that gone through? No. Ho, ho, ho. Here we go. Went in nicely the first time, didn't it? But this time, I really must learn. Bridget, where are you? Right, we've come through. There we are. So we're now threaded. I think we've hooked around there. That's it. We are threaded. Let's just turn my iron off because I can feel the heat. Oh, turn that down. That's better. So that's on warm now. What I should have said, I could have actually ironed these pieces down now, but I haven't. So if you want to, before you start stitching, because they're tacky, it doesn't matter too much, but by ironing, it actually really sets the adhesive under there. So let's go back to here. So I've got it threaded now. So I'm just going backwards. So I'm just pulling that down and I'm going back down here, trying to keep it as straight as I can. So what I'm going to do on this occasion, so I'll just trim that thread off. I'm going to do these biggest wedges first. So I'm not going to cut the thread there, but I'm going to go up the next one, just up the side, just like when we did the quilting. So I'll come up that side. I stop when I get to that, just under the roof, and then just pull that to the side. Now you may not like going sideways, I'm not keen, but backwards and forwards is my preferred. So that's it, I've gone down there, and then I'm just going to move over to this one. So I'm on the purple now, and we're just moving up there. There's a roof, so I'm going to go jump over there, cut the threads, and then I'll go across the top here. So you can hear I'm not going that fast, but you don't want to go extremely slow. And then just push the, there we are, cut that as well. And then just cut the threads as you get there. And I'm just going down to the bottom, and then I'll scoot across to come up this next one here. And that is much my preferred way of going towards me. So I'm going across there. Right, sometimes it sticks a little bit, but just keep going. My hands are not pressing down on the fabric, so I've got just a gentle touch, and I'm just holding the fabric down and just letting that stitch up there. If you find you don't like you've stitched in too far, you can always go round a second time. So you see, I find it difficult going sideways, so I'm going to have to just give that a little bit more of a pull from the other side. Okay, and over a bit more, and then going away from me. So I'm just pulling that back, pulling the fabric back, like that. Okay, so now I'm going to move this around because I want to do these small areas. So with, let's get you in, shall I get you in even closer? Right, okay. So I'm going to start on the left side. You start wherever you like. And sometimes I'm going around this door. So I'm coming down here and across the bottom. And this doesn't look particularly neat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go around twice. Okay, across the bottom, up the other side, and across that top bit. So I've gone on that bit twice. Can you see there? Rather than just a single time. So let's go up to the next one at the top here. So this is just a little window, and I'm just going around there. This one, oh, not bad. Okay, we'll leave that one as it is. And then on the roof, as I said, I prefer, it's all a case of practice. I prefer to come towards me. So if your fabric is not too big, what you can do is then just shift it round a little bit. So I'm going backwards like that, and that's got some big stitches, so I might go around this one twice. So I wasn't running it fast enough really. So I'm going to go around my rooftop twice. So I'm not going on exactly the same row that I've done previously, so that I can see that I've got 2 rows of stitching around here, and I don't mind that at all. So I'm just going to come on the second row of stitching up here as well. Okay, so you can see, let's just pull that up a little bit. Okay, so you can see I've done single row here, but around this one, we'll trim these little bits of thread off. That one's got a double row, that one's got a single row, and then around the roof, I've got a double row going around there. And it really doesn't matter that it's like that. It's just rustic. It's just, you could try decorative stitch. You could, indeed. Now, the machine I'm using today, I'll just do a little bit more. I will do, let's just trim that bit of thread there. Because I'm using a straight stitch only machine, that's all I can do, hence the free motion. But if I was using one of the others, a decorative stitch, a satin stitch, would look fabulous going up between. So let's just do one more. So I'm just coming up to this roof again. So this is another roof, and I'll see if I can go sideways better than I did before. That's it, just moving that sideways, and then, oh, I do like to go backwards rather than sideways, you see. So there we go, across. And once you're into free motion, I'm going to do one more now, it really goes quite quickly. And especially doing, oh, I've got a lump of thread there, especially doing small areas like this. There we go, and just stop there until, we'll just go across that bottom one. And I can see that my stitching has jumped a little bit there. So I've just done that second one there. I've gone round there twice. I can see I've got a little bit of gumminess on my needle, but there we go. So let's just trim that little bit of thread just there, and I'll just trim this one here. And this can be a project to look at another day. So, or maybe hand quilt, you could. Oh, there is actually so much. Whoops, a bit close there. So much you could do to embellish that. But, you know, that's just part of it. I could perhaps do with another, where are we? Another window on there. I'd only put one, I could have put 2. But on the back, you see it's pretty nice on the back too. So, what you could do, let's just bring that down just a little bit, that's it. So where these come together, I think it'd be lovely to satin stitch. So you could satin stitch to cover the gap. So you could satin stitch up here, and then you could satin stitch over this, which is just a single edge. You could satin stitch around there. I think it would be nice to use, I think it would be nice to use, say gold thread or yellow thread, just to make it look as though there's light coming through the windows. And, you know, just go from there. So what else could we do? Other decorative stitches that you have, you could even, if you did scallops across the roof, that would look like it was roof tiles. Could you put the roof on afterwards? After you satin stitched, yeah. So if you were, so decide what you're going to do. I was going to free motion, so I've put everything on ready to just free motion. But if you want to, if you want the roofs to have free motion all over the top, although say not free motion, decorative stitching, so satin stitching, with the satin stitching, you stop here, you stop when you come up to the top of the roof, and then you do the roof all in one. That is the way you would do it anyway. So if you feel better putting the roofs on afterwards, absolutely fine, but you don't need to, because when you're doing satin stitching onto an appliqued area, you have to look at it about layers. So what you want to look at is the fact that here you could satin stitch over this edge, these two edges come together, and you would stop at that roof, and then you start again after the roof, and down here you'd start just under here. Then when you do the roof, it covers the end of your satin stitching at the top here and here where you stopped and started, because it goes over the top of it. So you know, that is how you do. What else can I say? But yeah, embellish with beads. I'll tell you what I could have done. Chimney pots. Chimney pots. You could even put a little bit of bunting here as well. So, yeah, just a little bit of fun to brighten your day. You've never done any satin stitch or free motion before, Carol? Oh, right. Well, give it a go. With satin stitching, you probably know, but I will preach to the converted, if you like. So a satin stitch, you don't have to have a specific satin stitch on your machine. You can do your own. So it is a zigzag stitch, and a zigzag stitch which is close together. So you just need to have a little play with your length and width of your stitch. So with you would go into a zigzag, whatever number that one is, and then if you alter the length of the stitches as well, what it means is the zigzags will come closer together. If you went right down to 0, it would be on top of itself. So you would want to, I would try at about 0.5, 0.7 to start off with, and you might think, oh, that's close enough of a satin stitch that I want. Because bear in mind, if you're sewing through 2 layers of fabric and wadding as well, more than 2 layers, and wadding as well, you know, it might jam a little bit. So you might want your sort of satin stitch to be a little bit more open than a true satin stitch. But give that a go on a scrap piece of fabric and wadding, and then you can, you know, see if it works for you and what you prefer in the way of how it looks. But yes, give that a go. I have done some free motion. No, it won't be tomorrow. I have done some other free motion demos, which if you look in the PDF that Lindsay kindly does for us, you'll be able to see exactly which video and the date of the video that it will be. You would like a pack for that too. Okay, then I shall be sorting out, I shall sort out some kits for these with the spotty and the bright fabrics there, so that you'll have everything in it. So what I would probably do, so there will be, yeah, I'll see what, I'll put a little post up, see whether you prefer kits with the whole or kits with just fabric, because you may have backing fabric as well. Oh, you'd have a pack too. Okay, oh, hello Jill. Right, well, we're just drawing to a close now, aren't we? So thank you to everybody for joining me tonight. It has been another lovely company with all of you. Brighter the better. Okay, Gita. Thank you, Jill. Have a lovely evening and lovely weekend. I shall be back again next week. Tuesday is Bag of the Month Day in the Sew with Trisha group. So, Trisha will be working on that. I know what I'm doing, but it isn't put together yet. So, I'm not going to delete it. It will be on the Sew Totally Trisha page ad infinitum. It will be there forever, so you can still watch it. But it's a little bit more, it's not structured. Like when we do our patchwork, it's a little bit like this, like this, like this. This is a little bit freer, so you can make your roofs whatever size you like. You can make your houses as long or as short as they like, but it's just a case of that it goes up and down, shorter and longer. Are you doing any swap groups now? Yes, we do. It's in the Sew with Trisha group. So we do 6 monthly swaps, and we've got a lovely one going at the minute, which we're on month 4, so there's 2 more months to go. But it is open to the Sew with Trisha group members. So take a look. At the top of this page, there'll be information about it. It's £5 a month. And if you ask the ladies, they say it is fantastic value. So I will leave that with you. And as I say, have a lovely weekend. It's going to be hot, so take care. Put your sun cream on, drink plenty of water, and take care of yourselves. And I'll see you next week. So bye for now.